mastering the art of good enough decision is the fastest way to accelerate your life and career. Analysis paralysis is when you've done enough thinking, but the action button is jammed. You have all the facts, but you just can't move. Analysis paralysis happens when the size of the next step is too intimidating. So you need to trick your brain by making the first step so small, it's meaningless. It's called minimum viable action, or MVA. The MVA is the tiniest, lowest risk thing that you can do right now. The point is to swap a huge output, that is a finished project, for a tiny input like a 5-minute task. This builds momentum instantly. Let's look at real-world MVA examples. You're stuck on a big project launch. Minimum viable action would be, don't build a website instead. Just write the headline for the website. 5 minutes, done. You're frozen on a career pivot sometime. Minimum viable action would be, don't revamp your entire resume. Instead, email one old colleague and ask them what they're working on. One email, done. You need to have a difficult conversation. Minimal viable action would be, don't rehearse the whole script. Instead, schedule the meeting for tomorrow or write one opening sentence you will use. The small action unlocks the next one. When you focus on MVA, you are no longer making a final decision. You are making an iterative decision. You act, you learn, you adjust, you replace paralysis with movement. You can't stop the fear from popping up, but you can choose how you respond to it. The key technique here is called the regret test. When that fear voice screams, wait, what if you fail? Ask yourself these two questions. What will I regret more, failing or never trying? Most people, when looking back on their career, regret the risks they didn't take far more than the ones that failed. Reframe the choice from risk versus safety to action versus stagnation. What will the person I want to be next year tell me to do today? Step outside your current fear and think from the perspective of your future successful self. They already know the path worked out. What advice they give you right now? By asking these questions, you use logic to cut through the emotion. You realize the biggest risk isn't in failure, but in slow, silent death of stagnation. Analysis paralysis is the single biggest barrier standing between you and the next level of your career. It's the reason so many brilliant people stay stuck in the almost zone, watching others move past them, simply because those people were willing to be imperfect. You now have the toolkit to kill the voice of doubt. You can build momentum with minimum viable action, making the first step so small it feels ridiculous not to do it. So here's my final challenge to you, and I mean this right now. Don't let this video be another piece of research you analyze. Take that one decision. I want you to define your MVA, that tiny action you'll complete in the next hour. Will you write that one headline? Will you send that one request? Drop your MVA in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to see how you break your inertia. Let's start today. Let's start a reaction of decisiveness. If this video finally helped you conquer your overthinking, hit the like button. And if you're serious about building a high impactful, decisive career, subscribe now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we keep building that resilient leader inside.